in these chairs should have been purple instead of red. And so when we begin to do things like that, it opens up a door for Absalom to come in. Because see what it is, it'll try to put you in a place that he haven't given you authority to be in. And see, and that's the problem when you have so many people in church and they get mad because the leader may say something or leadership may say something that they particularly don't like. And they say, well, you know what, I'm going to go, I'm going to leave, I ain't got time for this. God calling me to go somewhere else. I'm going to go on by my other business. And not understanding that you're trying to put yourself in a place that he ain't never called you to be in. Because if that was the place, if your idea was so, or if you can do it so much better, guess what? He would have called you to be the pastor. Yes. Because you got so many people in churches, they want to tell leadership how to run the church. And this thing is really bad in the body of Christ, because you got to understand, even though you may say, well, I can do it so much better, because see, that was one of Absalom's characteristics. He would compare himself. I can do this better than what they're doing. And see, we got to understand when we begin to do these things, you got to understand, he appointed himself as a leader to say, you know what, I'm going to kill my brother, my half-brother. I'm going to take matters in my own hands. Because see, in that mind, the enemy will put you in a place to try to exalt yourself. I can handle this. I know what to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to deal with that python spirit, and you don't know what python is. No, what you're getting ready to do, you're getting ready to deal with some things that you don't have no knowledge of. And see, we got to understand, when we're dealing with spirits, you don't see the spirits manifesting. Because see, the thing is, why Absalom could not see himself, because see, he had jealousy in, he had a lot of different spirits in operation where he couldn't see himself. Only thing he saw was, I want what I want and I need to be king. And I'm going to do everything that I need to do to make it happen. Because it showed me here, it says, the Absalom spirit, it overlooks God's order. In other words, God may say this, but an Absalom spirit say, no, but I like it this way. This is what I'm going to do. An Absalom spirit will cause a division within a church. It will cause people to divide against leadership. It will cause, well, I'm going to have my own little group over here, because Absalom had his own followers. He had people, you know what, did you hear what she said? That just made me mad. What you thought about that? And you said, yeah. So now they see you the one who that they can confide into. See, you got to be very careful, because I'm going to show you in the scriptures, when you begin to agree with the Absalom spirit, what it does is it opens up the door now for you to come into for you to come an enemy against God. Because see, that's what David's followers, some of his followers did. These were people who were following David. And see, the Absalom spirit is just not in church. It can be in your family. Think about it. If mama gave you the authority to watch over the money, and you the baby sister, and you feel like, well, I'm the one pay her bills, why should she give it to my older sister about what to do with the finances? You see what I'm saying? You may be on your job, and your supervisor may appoint somebody else to be in charge, and you've been there the longest, and you say, I don't like. How you going to do that? I've been here 20 years. She just been here a year. How you going to leave her in charge? See, because see, what the Absalom spirit would say, you know what? I've been here the longest, so I'm going to do what I want to do. See, now you're stepping into a whole nother realm. And God showed me this Absalom spirit, it don't even have to be within one church. It can be one person going over to another church. Because see, the Absalom was a son coming up against the father. It can be, God even showed me, even with children coming against their parents. You know, you tell your mama, I know. You try to tell them something, they try to argue back with you. And you say, listen, that's why I be telling my son, listen to me. You try to tell them something, they trying to argue with you, tell you. And you like, I went through what you're dealing with. And you trying to tell me. But you don't understand. Well, I do understand, because I've been your age. I know what you're dealing with. And see, that spirit is all across the board. It's not just in church. And see, that's what's going on. That spirit, and it would cause a child not to be obedient to their parent. It would cause a worker not to be disobedient to their supervisor.